Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. I did not expect to be doing another This Week in Fragrance so soon after the last one, especially since we're heading in toward the end of the year, and usually there's not much announced toward the end of the year, but we got a weird one today. Yeah, weird. That's probably the best way to describe it. Or completely and utterly insane to the point that I don't think this could possibly be real. But we're gonna talk about it anyway. So just two fragrances today. We're talking about two. A new Afnan 9 p.m., which that one, no issues. That's totally 100% legit. I've actually already ordered my bottle, so I know that that's real. But the other thing, a new Creed fragrance. An interesting one. Now, some of this information is from iFragrance Official, some of this information is from USA Today and also Instagram, so kind of from all over. Before we start talking about the fragrances though, guys, here are some codes you can use to save money across different websites. Be aware the JOMASHOP codes are changing and there are additional codes. So those go into effect on the 18th of this month and they only work in the JOMASHOP app. Just wanna let you guys know. So the codes that have been there, those are still good until the 18th, but then they change. All right, let's start talking about the new fragrances. The first one is Afnan 9 p.m. Rebel. I have already bought my bottle. I think it was $59.95. Let me check really quickly. I bought it directly from Afnan's website. Oh, $59.50, I was close. So if you actually Google the fragrance name, it'll pull up their website and that's where I bought mine. It looks like they have some bottles on eBay also. If you wanted to go that route, I'd probably just buy it directly through Afnan. It's like $3 less on eBay, but you know. Not too much of a write up for this one, but we'll go over it anyway. Discover the new 9 p.m. Rebel, the latest addition to the 9 p.m. lineup for men. A powerful blend that reflects the night's mysteries and its enigmatic allure. Carefully crafted for the daring souls, embodying their brave and leading characters. So it's got a top of mandarin pineapple and Granny Smith apple, a mid of cedarwood, oak moss, and vanilla, and a base of caramel, dry woods, ambergris, and musk. Now, I don't think a whole heck of a lot of people have gotten their hands on this one yet, and I believe it launched all around the world at the same time. So it launched in Dubai the same time that it launched in the US, because some people were talking about, oh, I picked this up, it just launched today, and they were in Dubai, and it was available in the US on Afnan's website that same day. But I don't know what this is supposed to smell similar to just yet. So if you look at Fragrantica, which is not always super duper useful, some people are saying on there that it smells like Absolute Aventus, which if that's the case, wow. Just everybody getting those out at the same time. But looking at that note breakdown with the caramel and vanilla in there, I don't know if that's what that would be, but there were also some people saying that to them it smelled a little bit similar to the original 9 p.m., but with some twists, some changes, which would make sense, of course, since it is a flanker after all. As I said though, I bought my bottle already, so I should have it in before too terribly long. When I do get that in, I'll do first impressions for you guys, let you know whether it's worth it or not. As is typical with clone fragrances that they think are gonna have some hype behind them, it's gonna be more expensive initially. Obviously, $59.50 is full retail essentially from Afnan. But as time goes on, I would expect that price to drop down. So basically, if you really, really want it, you can get it now. You're just gonna be paying probably double what it's ultimately going to end up being as time goes on. But yeah, 9 p.m. Rebel, that has dropped. Now let's talk about this weird, is it even a fragrance thing that's going on with Creed. So this has started to make its way around on Facebook, and a number of people reached out to me and were like, hey, have you seen this? Which I had not. But on USA Today, as of yesterday when I'm filming this video, so on the 4th of November, I'm filming this on the 5th, USA Today had a contributor content article posted, which is Creed's new cologne is the hot choice for the modern man. And then it has sort of this like mysterious looking photo of a bottle that does not look like any Creed bottle that exists today. And it says above that bottle, Glacier Mirage Fall 2024. Very strange, but that's not the strangest thing. Let's dig into the article a little bit and start peeling back the layers of this onion. This is published by Kyle J. Russell on November 4th. Creed again makes its mark in the luxurious world of fragrances by introducing God, their new cologne tailored for the modern man. Look, I'm just gonna throw this out there. I don't think that's the greatest name idea for a fragrance. You know, I'm just saying. I don't know that naming a god is the number one best choice, okay? Some people are really gonna take offense to that name. Some people are just gonna think that it's really pompous, arrogant. Other people are just gonna be like, what are you doing? Like, how can you possibly match up that name to a fragrance? And how much of a douche do you sound like when you say, oh yeah, I'm wearing the new fragrance, God, because that's what I am. Okay, let's keep going. This latest offering from the prestigious brand captivates a niche audience that appreciates the exclusivity and art of fragrance. Every man should have a personal connection with the scent he is wearing, an intimate and refreshing feeling. And they do actually have an Instagram as well. Not that it ultimately matters, but it also has a little blue check mark, which those don't matter at all anymore. People with like 1,400 followers on TikTok with a check mark, it's like, okay, I'm glad I know it's you, I guess. You just got to kick them a little bit of money and they basically give you the check mark. So it's like, did that really verify anything? Not really, but it does have one. And the Instagram is God by Creed. You can go look that up, God by Creed. Has a little verified check mark again. I'm not putting too much stock in the check mark, but maybe some of you out there do. You'll notice that the logo is done in the same style as Creed, only it just says God with the little swishes going down through there. Whoa. Ooh. Hey guys, a little update on this whole God by Creed thing. So after I shot the video, they actually made some changes to their Instagram and it no longer has @Creed Fragrance tagged. What it says now is introducing God, an exquisite fragrance brand where luxury and elegance converge to ignite your senses. So it no longer says anything about @Creed Fragrances having any part to do with it. Before it said that @Creed Fragrances, which is their official Instagram handle, was curating this brand, but now that is removed. That being said, it still does clearly say God by Creed twice on there, and you can clearly see that the God logo is the same styling as the Creed logo, but they have updated and made that change. Now, I also reached out to Creed and God by Creed, and so did iFragrance Official, and God by Creed, the Instagram handle, said nothing. They've not responded, they've not seen it, or at least not that I can see anyway. Creed responded, and this is what they said. Keeping in mind that this is not from like the big people at Creed, but essentially from a customer service rep, and 95% of the time customer service reps don't really know what's going on. But they said this: we don't believe that is genuine, so please do ignore it. Which, okay, we don't believe that's genuine. Like, shouldn't you know? But again, they don't know. And then also there have been some posts from other people that have emailed to Creed themselves, like the Creed Boutique, and they've got responses that are similar. They say, I can confirm this information is inaccurate, and we are not launching a fragrance by the name of God. We always strive to ensure that our clients have accurate, up-to-date information, blah, blah, blah. Feel free to use this link to sign up for our email newsletter. This whole thing is just weird because you have those contributor articles that seem almost AI written that have been submitted to multiple websites like USA Today. Creed at this point is very clearly aware of the whole God by Creed thing, and it specifically says that that is God by Creed Fragrances, not Creed the band or just some other Creed that we don't know of. Apollo Creed. So Creed knows about it, but they aren't having it squashed or removed, which is where it looks a little iffy. Because Creed and other brands like that are pretty protective of their brand, right? So when they see something like this, typically they would crush it, have it removed immediately. And they do have the power to do that, as a bunch of Instagrammers will attest to, having their entire accounts wiped out when they posted something that those brands maybe didn't like so much. So at the end of the day, we're left with really 3 options of what's going on here. Option 1 is that somebody has taken the time to make this whole God by Creed account, submit articles as a contributor to different websites like USA Today, and also have a bunch of different photos done up, whether they're mock photos or whatever, but still had those done up for their Instagram to make it look official, when at the end of the day, they did it just to do it, which would be very odd for somebody to go through all of those different steps to just make a fake thing, and then there's no payoff. It's just like, I made that, gotcha. So that's option 1. Option 2 is that there is something going on and Creed is releasing something very soon, whether it's a sub-brand or a new fragrance line that's going to carry that name. And maybe they kind of screwed up and put a little bit out there that they weren't supposed to put out there just yet. But again, the first one that I saw from New York Weekly has been up on that website for a while in terms of the article. So that would be weird, but it's a possibility. And again, that could make sense because a frontline employee, like a little customer service agent who's handling emails, is not gonna know what the higher ups have decided they're launching and when and what the name is, what the notes are and all that. So I would expect there to be a disconnect. That's happened dozens of times, you know, where designer brands will be releasing something and then you reach out to, you know, the customer service contact us page and they're like, oh, we don't have anything by that name. And of course, there have been times where frontline service people or sales associates don't know about a fragrance that's already released in like Europe, but if you're in the US and you ask them, they're like, oh, that doesn't exist. So that could be possible. The other possibility is that this is a completely new brand that has nothing to do with Creed, and yet they are using like the Creed name to make what they're making, right? To kind of play off of that, which seems like an absolutely terrible, awful, worst idea on the planet type of idea. Because if that's what's going on, they're gonna get sued into oblivion. So yeah, all 3 of those options seem odd, but it's gotta be one of those, right? It's just a weird situation, honestly. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And I was going back and forth with the iFragrance official account on Instagram talking about it, you know, contrasting and comparing what we had found out. And we both agree, a lot of this looks fake, doesn't look legit. I mean, it looks like a lot of the stuff is AI written. Some of the pictures on that God by Creed Instagram look like AI. But at the same time, it feels like we're missing part of the puzzle here, you know, that it could actually be some Creed stuff. They just haven't officially announced it, so they're gonna keep it a little hush-hush until they decide, oh, okay, well, here you go, and put it all out there. Because that's happened in the past with some Creed releases, where it starts to leak online, and you contact Creed, and they go like, no, it's not legit, that's not legit, and then they announce it, and it's like, oh, so it was legit. Okay, so that's where we stand as of right this minute today. Who knows what's gonna happen tomorrow? That could get wiped off Instagram. It could cease to exist. But as of right now, they have updated what their little blurb says on the Instagram. So they are monitoring it. The photos have stayed the same, but they're monitoring it at least because they've made that change. And they made that change after people started to find out about this, because I've been emailed a lot asking me my take on this, so here it is. And Creed is aware of that. So that's, I think, the sticking point for me, where if it was completely fake, I feel like Creed would have had that wiped out immediately. And maybe they do, like I said, maybe it gets wiped off the internet tomorrow, but it's been there for a while. They are aware of it. It was tagging Creed fragrances before, and it was specifically worded that Creed Fragrances was curating the brand. Just very odd. All right, guys, that's it for the update. back to me. Crafting a sophisticated masculine scent. Creed again shows the fragrance house's ability to capture masculinity and put it in a bottle. The scent embodies what a sophisticated man should smell like and features specialized layering that creates a unique experience for the cologne wearer. The scent opens with a fresh citrus and bergamot, a bright yet confident choice. So a fresh citrus and also bergamot, which is a citrus. The scent then develops into warm, spicy notes featuring black pepper and cinnamon. These ingredients scream sophistication and maturity. Combining these scents creates a uniquely alluring experience for fragrance lovers and amateurs alike. God then settles on rich leather notes, smoky oud, and a subtle touch of ambergris. These scents embody masculinity, creating a story with unique smells. The alluring cologne can leave a lasting impression with its velvety, rugged finish. The scent is long-lasting, staying on the skin throughout the day for maximum confidence and impact on others. And then it goes on to talk about the packaging of God reflects Creed's commitment to quality products. The sleek black bottle is printed with gold letters, exuding class before the fragrance is sprayed. Sleek black bottle with gold letters. Which, when you actually take a look at the pictures that they have, both on Instagram and here on USA Today, it doesn't look like a sleek black bottle with gold letters. It's got kind of a gradient, like dark blue at the bottom, black up toward the top. I don't see any gold lettering. And it says fall 2024 is when this is supposed to drop. Newsflash, guys, it's November. If you're trying to get this out in fall 2024, it better come out yesterday. And actually, I searched up God by Creed fragrance, and it pulled up an article from NewYorkWeekly.com from September 18th, 2024 by the New York Weekly staff. God, a new luxury fragrance for the modern man. And it's another write-up about this fragrance, only it came out 2 months ago. And this is very odd because when you read through this thing, yes, it's talking about blah, 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 masculine fragrance, strength, sophistication. Unlike many mass market offerings, God is a finely balanced fragrance, shut up, designed for the high-end market. In creating God, Creed has placed a clear focus on high-end clientele. Yeah, you know who created the universe and everything? Creed. Because Creed created God? What? Everything you know is a lie. Fantastic. Just fantastic. Anyway, yeah, they've got stuff in here, how it's designed for a high-end market, et cetera, et cetera. When you look at these pictures, first off, they're fugly in this article. And interestingly enough, it says photo courtesy Creed. And it's like, instead of where you have on the Creed bottle, that kind of, what is it? Yeah, the little logo, looks like 3 little feathers kind of coming through. It's got like a, what is that? Like a tiger face on the middle of these bottles? But it says God Noir and then God Millesime Imperial in these photos. Again, from the New York Weekly staff. And then it says at the bottom though, this article features branded content from a third party. Opinions in this article do not reflect the opinions and beliefs of New York Weekly. So this actually technically was announced 2 months ago. And really, like, some of it looks AI generated to me. Like some of this stuff, like the Millesime Imperial where it says God, looks weird. Like it looks uneven with the little crossing there, and it looks, again, AI generated, like a little funky. And then on the USA Today article and on the Instagram, they have a completely different bottle, but it says courtesy of Creed for the God photos that they have on New York Weekly, which I'm wondering if maybe they took the photo and then altered it. I don't know, and still threw up courtesy to Creed there. Nice. On the Instagram, it does look decently professionally done as far as like the gridding that they have set up there with the different photos of the bottle. Like it looks pretty well done. And it does make me question, you know, maybe this is real, because I would think that Creed themselves, considering how much money they have and how they like to throw that around sometimes, I feel like they would step in and crush this extremely quickly. So I'm torn where I'm like, surely God by Creed cannot be a real thing. This cannot be a real thing where people sat around you know, and said, I got the greatest name, I got the best idea. And everybody collectively was like, that's sick. So part of me is like, that cannot be real. It looks weird. It looks like iffy. I haven't seen it announced the usual channels, right? It pops up through these contributor stories on USA Today, and then 2 months ago on New York Weekly. A lot of this looks weird. So you would think, you know, Creed, they know about this. They've got to know about this at this point. They would step in, crush it. You can't use this trademark. You can't say this. You can't say that. You can't say you're associated with us when you're not. And this thing would be gone. It would be no chance. Because think about that, right? Creed is the biggest niche house, and with them being bought out, they've got crazy money behind them. So if it wasn't legitimate, they would shut it down mad fast. So the two sides of my brain here are just, they're not agreeing. Like, this has to be fake. This is so stupid. This is so corny, but that looks real and it would be killed off very quickly. Is this like just a troll? I don't know. Could be. But that is where things stand right now. You guys let me know what you think. Like I said, I'm split. But if God does become a sub-brand of Creed, it's a weird timeline to be living in. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.